Howdy, y'all. Are you thinking of packing up your bags and moving to Nashville, the heart of Tennessee? Well, before you pack up those snowshoes and move on out, I think we need to check out 9 things that people tell me they wish they'd maybe checked out a little bit more before they made that move. I'm here to help. We got 9 reasons that you might want to reconsider moving to Tennessee, to Nashville specifically, in 2025. Number 1, if you don't enjoy sipping your coffee driving to work while at a snail's pace around certain of the major intersections, then you might want to reconsider this. We have had over 100 people a day move here, it is said, in 21, 22, beginning of 23. It has dropped down to only 89 people a day, but that's a lot of people on the roads, and as you're going to hear later, they're on the roads, not on foot, and not in a bus. They are in their cars. It's said that we have about 20% longer drive time traffic today than we did in 2018. I totally believe that. What used to take me 10 minutes to get to the interstate from home now, it's taking more like 18 to 20, depending on the time of day. Between 6:30 and 8 o'clock can be pretty tough. It is said by some, not by me, that our roads are busier than a one-legged man in a butt-kicking contest. I don't even know what that would look like, but sounds tricky. Number 2, do you love the feeling of being in a sauna? Well, you're going to have to get used to it. The months of July and August are really pretty much like a sauna. We have such high humidity, I will tell you, it's terrible for my type of hair because it just falls flat. And if you happen to be lucky enough to have curly hair, it's going to be great 10 months of the year. 2 months of the year, it might be like Rosanna Dana. But the good thing is, everybody's going to have bad hair days in July and August because we have such awful humidity, but it's good for your skin. But hold on. Before I get to number 3, there's more. If you love sneezing 10 to 15 times before you even had that morning coffee, and be careful when you're holding that cup, if you enjoy sneezing, then you're going to love Nashville. Those who have never had allergies are often finding that they are allergic to things that are here. Even my own grandmother went every year to Arizona in the summer because she had terrible allergies here. She'd go to Arizona because obviously it's a different climate and it was good for her allergies in the summertime. Well, you know, everybody who's come here to this side of the Mississippi has brought those plants that they loved, and they brought a lot of those allergies too. And of course, we are kind of in a bowl. So Tennessee, Nashville in general, is really tough on allergies. I can help you with that. I too am very allergic to my own hair. So I've got some remedies to help you out with. Be sure to give me a call. Let's talk about that when you call me. And if you are thinking of moving to Nashville, then that's what you need to do. Book a 15-minute call here with me, and we can talk about all the needs that you might have. If you decide to, go ahead and pack up those boots and move on over here.
Better yet, sell those snow blowers and the snowshoes. You do not need them here.
Let's get to number 3. So now let's talk about the cost of living. It really has been driven up as far as looking at residential housing. The boom has really brought so many more people here, so much more demand, but the inventory is not so great. Now the good thing about that is they foresaw it with the boom and started building many apartments and high-rises and condominiums, a lot of luxury condominiums around the Midtown Loop. That we even were told that Crane, the bird, almost became our city bird because you could see cranes all around the horizon. Now, the good thing about that is that a lot of that is slowed down and those are now finished. So the lack of inventory a couple years ago is really not quite so much, and some of those luxury condos and some of those prices have actually come down in the last couple months. So it's a little easier to find places to rent. It's a little less expensive to find places to rent. But when it comes time to purchases, that's a whole nother matter. We can talk about it. But the demand has really driven up the cost of our housing, both rentals and purchasing power of purchasing houses here, because there's just not that much inventory until you get into the very outer limits. Overall, rents have gone down about 20% since the heights of 2023, and the prices have stabilized in 2023 and 2024 to about a 5 to 7% appreciation. Way different than we were experiencing during the height of COVID, when many of the really high-end areas were 20-25% of appreciation. There's still a lot of competition, but it has softened. A much better situation for all of us.
Check out last week's video where we looked at 2025 predictions. In that video, I share with you the appreciation rates of many towns and suburbs around Nashville, plus predictions for what we expect to happen in 2025.
Okay, let's talk about number 4. And this is a real con for those of you who don't drive or don't want to drive, because you're not getting around in Nashville. You're just really not. Our bus system is about as good as a paper umbrella, meaning it just doesn't go everywhere. You can get around downtown, and it's very, you got the bus routes. They exist and they run, and they're good buses. They're nice. They're air conditioned, far better than my school bus was, but you cannot get around all the places that you need to get around. I've had several people who've never ever had a car, and they moved here, and they not only wanted to move here, but they wanted to move out down in the Franklin area and get a little bit further away so they have more land. And well, they had to have a car. They just had to buy a car. We are a car place, which is why it's hard on our health, because we don't walk as much as we need to, which would be better for us because we eat a lot here. But the problem is, that's the facts. You're going to need a car if you live here, and our bus system is not great, and we do not have a good rapid transit system, and that's something that they're working on, but frankly, I don't foresee it in any time soon. And by that, I mean actually learn to drive. If you're actually a driver right now, please use your blinker. And it doesn't matter if you get in front of me, because you're only going to get there 1 second before I do. We can easily see who's coming from another area where they're used to busting through and don't know how to merge onto interstates. And just please slow down. All these new people driving here can cause some real havoc. You need a car, and you need to learn to drive a car, and you need to learn to be polite when you're driving your car. That easy. Southern hospitality, it's a thing. Number 5, let's not forget the critters. We've got mosquitoes. I don't know who doesn't have mosquitoes. I guess when you've got green grass, you've got green trees, you've got beautiful greenery everywhere, which is what I love about Nashville, then all that comes with moisture. And ooh, I hate that word. Please tell me in the comments, do you hate the word moisture? It's a gross word. Anyway, we got moisture, we got mosquitoes, and frankly, if mosquitoes could be a state bird, Nashville would be their capital. We got them. Summer evenings can be full of mosquitoes. So here's what you want to do. You're on your own. You do you. But I use Deep Woods Off on my shoes, on my socks, anytime late afternoons. If I'm going to happen to be walking around in grass, especially late afternoons, especially after everybody has irrigated their lawns. And by the way, you need to irrigate in the morning, not in the late afternoons, but everybody hasn't gotten that memo either. Gotta be careful, you're gonna have mosquitoes. You don't want standing water. If you have a bird bath, you're gonna have mosquitoes. If you've got a creek, just standing water, gonna have mosquitoes. Keep it moving. Mosquitoes are a thing, and they are obnoxious. I've got videos about that. I've got videos about the no-see-ums. I tell you the truth here, but mosquitoes can be tough. Use that Deep Woods Off or Skin So Soft or whatever you want to think about. Mosquitoes are a thing. If you hate mosquitoes, you might need to rethink it. Summer evenings can be a full-on buffet for mosquitoes if you're not careful. 6, nightlife noise. Now this is something that somebody told me, and it's just really actually a little bit ridiculous, but I'll go ahead and tell you. What they say is, if you're dreaming of peaceful nights, and downtown Nashville might not be your lullaby. Now I agree with you there. Downtown Nashville is where everything is rocking. It is where the night never sleeps. It is where all the tourists come, because that's what they want. That's why they go there. Nashvillians don't live downtown for the most part. Many people have a condo downtown maybe, or if you're really, really young and really, really hip and you want that constant vibe, then yeah, live downtown. It isn't cheap, but that's where the tourists are. The lower Broadway area from about Church Street on down never sleeps. If that's your vibe, go for it. If it's not, you've got the entire 8-county SMSA that is not that way, but that's what they said. Nighttime noise can drive you crazy. They say sleep can be as elusive as a hen's tooth. They got their country down. Don't know where they came from, but they've got their country down. Number 7. Now remember, as I said, this isn't what I think about the cons are. This is what I've been told about the cons. And this one I don't understand, because everybody except me loves this, which is hot chicken. If you're looking for a culinary experience away from hot chicken, then they say you can't get away from it. Well, there are some weird menu items on the menus. Hot chicken is everywhere. Nashville hot chicken did not originate with Hattie B's, but that's where all the tourists want to go. It originated with Prince's. It originated some other places way back, but it became very popular not that long ago. Now you can get hot chicken on waffles. You can get hot chicken on everything. I don't like hot foods, and I have no issue whatsoever of finding great foods, but what they say is we put hot chicken on our salad, we put hot sauce on our ice cream, hot sauce on chicken, hot sauce on waffles, hot sauce in your syrup. I didn't say it, they did. You be the judge. Number 8, if you're not a fan of country music, well, bless your heart. Country music is a way of life in Nashville. You're just gonna have to get used to it. You might as well learn to two-step. Now, I will give you a secret. What we know, or don't really want everybody else to know, is nobody in Nashville, unless you are actually at a barn riding, and you're riding Western, you're not riding English. Unless you're at a barn, nobody wears cowboy boots here. Only the tourists buy and wear cowboy boots all the time. And if you have cowboy boots, they need to be a little bit dirty. They need to be authentic, or you can just skip spending that extra $200 or $300 at Lucchese. But country music or music is a way of life here. But we have all kinds of genres of music. It's not just country by any stretch of the imagination. But, people love to. And if you're not a big music fan, who cares? So many other things to do. Hey, if these haven't dissuaded you enough, I've got one more left that might do it. But if these haven't, then I suggest you go ahead, grab my relocation guide. It's updated as of 2024, and I'm working on the 2025 update, but it's not that different. Go ahead and grab that relocation guide and thumb through it. You can find out about some of the hottest communities in Davidson County, like Green Hills, Belmead, Forest Hills, Oak Hill, Melrose, all the areas that you may have heard of. But we're also going to talk about all the other suburbs around the 8-county SMSA. You're going to learn about Hendersonville and where you can live on the lake. You're going to learn about the school system. I've got so much in there. It's chock full of good information. So if I haven't scared you away so far with these silly things, we've just got one more left, but grab that relocation guide and then let's talk. I would love to help you, as I've helped hundreds of other people move to the Nashville area. I am Susan Thetford. I forget to say this every time. I am a native Nashvilleian, and that gets me to the final negative about moving to Nashville in 2025 or any other time. And this one comes from a local. Not me, but it does come from other locals. It's just not the same Nashville that it used to be. I grew up here in Nashville. It took me 10 minutes to drive from my home over by Percy Warner Park over into Green Hills. That was just a teeny tiny little strip shopping center, maybe 8 minutes to get to my grandmother's house. That was an area that they would not even, nobody from public schools, parents would not allow their kids to come home on the school bus with us unless they could stay the whole weekend, Saturday and Sunday, and then ride back on the school bus with us on Monday because the parents didn't want to drive that far out. Well, now that's in the middle of everything. I absolutely love that area, but it now takes about 20 minutes most days to get to that very same spot, double the time. Nashville's not the same Nashville. It's not the quiet little 70s, 80s area, and it's just not. But what place in the country is the same as it was 30, 40, 50 years ago? We have new developments. We have a lot of older areas that are totally being gentrified, and we have a lot of gentrified areas that are just way out of line in pricing for where most people can afford. However, Nashville is still just below the median price of homes of the top 50 major cities. We were named 46th best city in the world to live in. We've got so much to offer, and yeah, these are tongue-in-cheek. There is no perfect place, but Nashville's pretty perfect to me, and I think it could be pretty perfect for you. So let's have a conversation. All jokes aside, Nashville is a city full of charm, culture, beauty, and opportunity. But like any place, it's got its quirks. So if you're still set on moving here, at least now you're coming with your eyes wide open and your sense of humor intact. Y'all come back now, you hear?